my dad always says, like, that's the best way to know that you can have a lasting relationship with someone, is, like, if you can laugh through difficult times.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Which is why he always laughs every time I have bad news to tell. I'm like, Dad, this is serious.
I just had a car accident.
Yeah. But seriously, let's get that insurance. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of It's Complicated, our dating and love advice show. Today we have a very special guest, my friend Lana McKissack.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
Yay, thank you for having me.
Yes, I think we will have a really fun episode because today we are going to talk about the one.
I've got opinions on that.
Oh, that's great, because I am forming them slowly, but I have not a solid opinion yet. Okay, so how do you know when you have found the one?
I think, I don't know if some people believe in the one. I feel like there's a one for where you are in your life.
Okay.
I feel like I've had multiple ones for wherever I was at, and the one I'm with now is the one I plan to be with forever.
You're forever one.
Yes, my forever one. But, I also think I'm married. But had I met my husband, we met like 5 years ago, but had I met him 10 years ago, I don't even know if we would have gotten along, depending on where we were at. And so, that's my opinion.
So, was there anything that he did that sort of like made him stand out from like the other ones? Or like, was there a moment that you knew like, wow, this is actually someone that is a forever one, not like a 2, 3, or 4? I don't know. Like.
Well, yeah, it's funny you should mention because I was watching your episode of It's Complicated with Phil, one of them where you were talking about when you said I love you.
Oh yeah, that was
And so I was watching you and you're like, a couple months, and Phil's like, like half a year, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? It's so interesting because you always think like the way it happens for you is the way it happens for everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was like, when you said 2 months, I was like, I don't think it's ever taken that long to say I love you.
Really? So
Never.
What's it been like for you?
Well, Nathan, my husband, I think like 3 weeks in,
No way.
he was like literally like holding me in his arms like this. And he was like, I'm going to tell you something and it might make you uncomfortable or freak out. And I was like, okay. I thought he was going to be like, I'm a serial killer.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, maybe that's not going to work out.
Yeah, that makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah. A little bit. But he's like, I'm in love with you. And I was like, oh my God, me too.
Oh.
And that was like really, really fast now that I think about it. But it was perfect. Like we both felt the same way. We both knew like even before we said that. And I know it seems crazy, like how can you love someone? But, I've been married for 3 years now. I'm like 3 years now, and together for 5 years. So
wow,
it seems to have worked out. But what about your idea of the one?
Okay, I think that in the times that I've met someone and I'm like, wow, this person's so different, they could be the one. They're always someone that is someone I consider a best friend, someone that I consider just like my, I don't say ride or die because that sounds silly, but like someone who I consider my family.
Right.
Like, because I'm super close with my mom and dad, my sister, and so someone who I love just as much as them. And someone who I can laugh with, like you're saying, someone that is really confident in themselves, and someone that's just like a person that I admire and want to be like. But more so just as simple as like someone who really, really is my best friend. So have you ever had a situation where a friend has come up to you and been like, oh my gosh, I found the one, this guy's or girl's perfect, and you've met their partner and you disagree? Have you ever had that? And like, if so, how do you break that to a friend, really?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like people are gonna do what they're gonna do, and I wouldn't offer unsolicited advice, but if somebody were to say to me honestly, I really think this guy's the one, what do you think? I feel like it would be my civic duty. To say,
friendly duty.
Yes. To say, I wish he was nicer to you, or I mean, whatever. If it's something that just bothers me personally, then it doesn't matter what I think. But if it's something that I think is going to affect that person, 30 years from now, then I mean, you should probably say something, right?
You know what? I do have a story where a friend of mine in high school was her first boyfriend, like the one and all that stuff. She was young. She was actually younger than me. She was like 15 at the time, I think. And I knew for a fact that he was cheating on her with like two separate girls. Yeah.
People do that in high school?
Yes, they can be really mean.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, and so I was like, okay, so do I know this, but she doesn't know this. And I knew it as a fact, so I was like, do I say anything or do I just let it go because she seems happy? And so I made the choice. I just made the choice with my heart, not really my head, but I chose to tell her what was happening.
Yeah.
Which was hard because she, in her head thought he was the one, and then I had to see her get heartbroken, and that was tough too. But in the end, she's now dating someone who is incredible and amazing, and someone who I would like to consider a good one for her.
Right.
Like, just the best match ever.
Right.
So in that case, I was the friend that did say something. Okay, so now it is time for our viewer-submitted question. So a viewer asks, what's a trait that you disliked that a significant other had that you were willing to put up with?
I feel like I'm going to out people here.
I know.
Where do I begin?
Okay, I had this one boyfriend in college. And when we first met, I thought he was the funniest guy. Like, just the things that he would come up with, and like, he was so witty and so hysterical and so creative. And then I remember I was watching like Old School and like all these movies, and I realized he was just quoting movies the whole time, just movies I hadn't seen.
Oh no!
I felt so lied to and so deceived. And then while we were dating, it just started really bugging me because he would say all these movie quotes. And I was like, no, I know that's not. I know what that's from.
My dear husband.
Oh yay!
Who shall remain nameless, Nathan Moore. No, he. Granted, he works very hard, and so he's tired. I get it. But sometimes we'll be in the middle of a conversation, and I'll realize he's asleep, and I'll be like, "What the? Hey, you will listen to me until I'm finished talking." And he's like, And I'll know because sometimes he does this hilarious thing where he just starts going into whatever he's dreaming about. So I'll be like, "Oh, I saw this terrible thing in the news about, blah, blah, blah happened at, and he'll go, penguins, they really are coming out this season." And I'll be like, "What are you talking about?" And I'll realize he had gone into his dream world, but he thought he was still awake.
Oh, well, that does it for our episode today. Thank you so much, Lana, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, now do you have anything that you want to tell our viewers about? Anything coming up?
I do.
Oh, yay.
Go to youtube.com/Lana McKissack because I have a very amazing horror short out right now.
Oh.
It should be out right now. It's called Killing Time, and we shot it in conjunction with the creators of The Walking Dead, and it's going to be very scary.
That's awesome. Well, I definitely look forward to checking that out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click to ISAtv and follow me online, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.